I was muted there. Welcome back to another episode of Buckle Up with the Boys here. I missed you boys. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing wonderful. I just wanted to say, Drew, congratulations on your marriage.
You're going to get me crying again.
Wanted to start it off there, man. Was a special weekend for you for sure. And, wish you and Taylor nothing but the best moving forward. Wanted to say that before we jump into whoever knows what's coming next, man.
Right,
You deserve it. And, I know you folks had a long engagement, so this was a much anticipated day for you two. So I hope you guys had an awesome few days and an awesome weekend, an awesome ceremony, and everything that ensued, man.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it. You're going to get me teary-eyed, Nate. Trevor, how are you doing? You doing good?
Excellent. Nate kind of stole my thunder there. I was going to try and get to you first with the congratulations on the marriage, but you know what? Screw it. I'll one-up you. I know you got a drink in your hand, so.
I do. Oh.
There you go.
Cheers, buddy.
Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you. All right, well, we'll get into it here. We got NFL, we got NBA, MLB. I just love you fuckers so much. That 13 days was too long. But we got to touch on some NFL news here. So Garrett Wilson is feeling, pretty excited to be alongside Aaron Rodgers. In my opinion, he has unlimited potential. How important do you think it is having a Hall of Fame quarterback like Rodgers come in and, work with a, young wide receiver? It's kind of like Ben with Antonio Brown, how that turned out. But, how important do you guys think that is?
Well, anytime that you can upgrade from Zach Wilson,
right,
you're getting instantly better. Garrett Wilson had an unbelievable rookie season despite Joe Flacco, Mike White, and Zach Wilson throwing him the football. And though that's not a great trio of quarterbacks, Joe Flacco is a very solid quarterback in his career, but his best plays behind him. Zach Wilson, I don't think he's going to be a player. I think the majority's out on him. And Mike White, I don't know. He can go either way still. He can go up, he can go down. He's had some great games. He's had some terrible games as well. So anytime you get Aaron Rodgers mixed with a guy that talented, some great things are coming. We saw what he did with Devontae and a crew of great receivers in Green Bay in his time. So what an upgrade. And they just got Hard Knocks today. So we're going to get a nice inside look of that coming up here pretty soon.
Right. Trevor, what do you think there?
Yeah, that's news to me. I didn't know the NFL finally got a team to do the Hard Knocks, so that's good. I know they were worried that wasn't going to happen. But yeah, just to touch on both you guys' points, Garrett Wilson's already a stud. He had 1,100 yards last season on 83 catches from the likes of Joe Flacco, Mike White, and Zach Wilson. If that doesn't say enough about how talented that guy is, I don't really know what does. I'm definitely going to look for his touchdown numbers to go up, I would think, with Aaron Rodgers behind center, as long as everyone, stays healthy on that front. But yeah, a receiver is only as good as the quarterback that's throwing to him. Jerry Rice wouldn't have been Jerry Rice without Joe Montana. Antonio Brown wouldn't have been Antonio Brown without Ben. That's just the way it is. Someone's got to throw you the ball. And even with the caliber of quarterbacks that was throwing this guy the ball, Garrett Wilson, he's still amazing. I'm very excited for that Jets team this year. That's going to be a real stacked division too. It's going to be very much one to watch.
I guess I don't want to put you on the spot here, and I just love doing that. What do you really think the New York Jets record's going to be this season? Do you think Rodgers is going to be that much of a fundamental, not fundamental, but that important piece to them? I think my prediction, I would say, and I'm going to piss some people off. I say 10-7, maybe. I don't know what you guys think, though.
I agree with you. I think they're a wild card team. I know the Bills probably on paper got worse in some people's eyes, but I still think the Bills are a very, very good regular season team. They have a good camaraderie, although the Stephon Diggs stuff is concerning a little bit. But they have a good camaraderie. They got a great team. They got an amazing quarterback. Hopefully an improved running game. Because, goodness gracious, I don't know how many times I got to come on the show and say it. Run the damn ball. Figure it out. Get guys that can block, put it in the offense, get it on the ground, and not with Josh. Get somebody else that can run it. I mean, everybody probably was mad about Singletary and Moss and Briata and whoever else they've had in the carousel up there. It's not these guys' fault. If you get the ball 5 times, who gives a crap? Like, you got to block it well. That's just what it is. It comes down to they got to get a better push up front, and they got to scheme it and be better in that regard. So that's the biggest thing about the Bills, but I still think it's their division. They're going to win a crap ton of games. And I think the Jets 10-7 is a very, very, reasonable record to me, Drew, for sure.
I mean, I'm not. I don't know, but and actually, I think we do touch on the Diggs thing. Yeah, we do. We're going to shred the Bills apart a little bit, but
if I can expand on that real quick, the Jets go through the ringer in the first half of their schedule too. They got the Bills right out of the gate, right? Then you got Dallas, New England, Kansas City, Denver, and Philly, and that's all before the bye week.
Wow.
They might get 2 games out of that.
Yeah.
And then, stumble to, what would it be, a 2-4 record at the break? Yeah. But, it's a whole new system that they're running now with Aaron Rodgers. So it's going to take some time to get used to anyway. Why not get these tough games out of the way? And then later in the season, you got the likes of the NFC East waiting for you. The Giants and Washington and even Cleveland is down the pike for them. So they're going to have a much easier back half than they do the front half. 10-7, that's kind of where I was predicting too. I'd be intrigued to see what their over under is on like FanDuel or something like that. See where the number's at. If it's at 9.5, I'm taking the over.
Okay.
One thing I want to add too, it's just I can see it now. Like you said, Trevor, 2-4.
Mm-hmm.
And the media will just go, "Oh, Rodgers is lost.
Yes. No, I know.
My goodness gracious. Oh, the Jets always do this. Always stink. No matter who they get." And then, if they're still 2-4, I'm still not counting out Rodgers. You know what I mean?
No.
Last year they were what were they 3-8 and they were horrible. They were absolutely horrible. Yeah. They get to 8-8 and they have a chance to win the division, and they stink up the joint like they did for the previous 11 weeks, and they blow it. But still,
they were on the brink of a playoff spot.
They shouldn't have gotten there, but Rodgers just carried them. The defense stepped up. So you just can't count out Rodgers. I know he has 1 Super Bowl and he hasn't won a lot of playoff games, whatever. He still gives you a damn good chance to win. No question.
Yeah. I'm gonna be real here too. Ever since Run the Table, from however long it was, I have not doubted Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
You can't bet against. He's one of those guys you can't bet against, or you'll suffer trying. So it's going to be tough. They literally play the 2 teams that were in the Super Bowl in the first 6 weeks of the season. That's tough. That is tough. And plus, everybody in that division got better, minus the Bills. So they're going to go through the ringer, but I think they're going to be real good. That defense is pretty much the same as it was last year, probably better, honestly. We know Sauce is for real. We know Quentin Williams is for real. We know all those guys. All those guys are studs now. They're going to be – I'm excited for them. I'm excited for Jets fans, too. They've been waiting God knows how long for a good team again.
2008, I think, right?
I think 09, 10, something like that. Whenever the Sanchez era ended.
Longest drought in the NFL right now. One of the longest in pro sports. Them and your beloved Sabres are some of the longest. It's just unfortunate that
that's ending next year.
Yeah, I think so.
Ending next year. Mark my words.
No, I agree. I hope it does.
No, I'm confident. And I'm confident the drought for the Jets is going to end here too. Hopefully, it's going to be good times for the state of New York this upcoming season.
Right. It's been a long time. But we got to touch on another thing here going on. Marseille, I always fuck his name up. Is it Marseille?
Mercedes Lewis.
Yeah, Mercedes Lewis. He's going into his 17th season here, and he's looking for a team. No one's interested in him right now. He still wants to play. It's just amazing to me. Him, AP, they still want to play, and there's not really any interest. I think he's a decent tight end. I've always had him high on the tight end list. Do you guys see him going? I mean, as old as he is as a tight end, getting picked up by a team in this offseason or no?
I don't think it's out of the question.
Okay.
He's going to, what is he going to be, 39 or 40 years old?
Yeah.
He was a first round pick. I believe he's the only player that has caught a receiving touchdown pass from Aaron Rodgers. That's a first round pick ever. He's caught 2 of them. That's the only first rounder that's caught a touchdown pass from Aaron Rodgers in Aaron Rodgers' career, which is nuts. Mercedes Lewis probably was overpicked. He wasn't a first round selection. He got picked by the Jags. He's had a very, very, very solid career though. He's been the tight end 1 to tight end 3 option, whether it be in Jacksonville or Green Bay. He's a great blocking tight end. He's a great veteran, great leader. I think somebody that has a tight end go down in training camp or in preseason or whatever would be wise to pick him up for depth. There's a lot of great dynamic tight ends. There's going to be a lot of teams that have a carousel of running backs. He can run block. He can flat out run block.
Mm-hmm.
I hope he's picked up. He's had a great career. If it ends, I'll be sad for him because he's a great pro. But I think that there's still a very good chance that he gets picked up. Adrian Peterson, on the other hand, he's done. I'm sorry, he's done. Yeah. No way he gets. That's it.
Okay,
his career is over to me.
And just to go further with that, we're talking about older guy here now, youth guy. So I want to tell you this, and I haven't went after this fan base yet. I'm going to do it right now. Minnesota Vikings, they are in some hot water here with Justin Jefferson. And what do you think is going to come out of this? So they're going to fuck up like they did with Stephon Diggs and Randy Moss back in the day and let this guy walk out? I mean, gets paid $2.4 million in 2023 and then $19.7 million in 2024. Do you think they try to work something out here with him, or are they trading him off? I mean, what he seems very unhappy for some reason. I'm not sure. Do you guys know what the hell's going on with the Vikings and him?
It's similar to the Stephon Diggs situation. Do we really have a definitive answer? What the hell's going on with him in Buffalo? I don't think we have a definitive answer what's going on with him either. He's obviously the top targeted guy in his team, one of the best receivers, if not the best in the league. Kirk Cousins just feeds him the ball. You want evidence of that. Just look at that 4th down play against the Bills where he has to go up and do this. He could have literally thrown it to anybody else, but he trusts Justin Jefferson and freaking triple coverage more than he trusts anybody else. I would think they would work something out, but like you said, Drew, this is the pattern with the Vikings. With Randy Moss, with Stephon Diggs, they get these all-pro receivers, these generational receivers, and then they let them go. I guess maybe that's why they draft them all the time. They literally run them until their rookie contract is up, and then they make like the Pirates and they don't want to pay him, and then they let him go.
Right.
Obviously, if he's going to be gone anyway, it would definitely be wise to get something for him, but they better make a decision, sooner rather than later, come next offseason.
I don't want to mean this in a bad way, but I don't know what else the guy wants. It seemed like the whole playbook was dedicated to you. I mean, I don't know.
Plus with Dalvin Cook now gone, how much more are they going to be passing the ball?
Right. So,
I mean, these receivers, man, I don't know why they're not satisfied. I mean, maybe off the field stuff that they're not revealing, but on the field, I don't know what the deal is.
Well, I have speculation on what the deal is. Tyreek Hill reset the wide receiver market, and it screwed everything up.
Yep.
It screwed everything up because now all these receivers want all this money. I mean, goodness gracious, we have one of them on our team, Deontay Johnson. He's not worth $18 million a year. I'm sorry. He's really good. He's really, really good. He's probably top 20, 25 in the league. I mean, he's very good. He drops some passes, but he's open all the freaking time. He's unbelievable.
He drops passes and he runs backwards.
He runs sideways and backwards all the time. But he's very, very good. He was a great bargain pick for us. But this might be his last year with the Steelers. I've said that before on the show and stuff. But I think what's going to happen ultimately is the Minnesota Vikings are going to do nothing until they figure out how good they are this year and what they're doing with Kirk Cousins. Because Kirk, I believe, is coming into the last year of his deal. He's on a really, really expensive contract. Who knows what they're going to do with him? Are they going to extend him for a couple more years and let him go? The dude barely wins in prime time. He can't win a big game. He can light it up with passing yards and passing touchdowns, but he can't. It's empty stats as far as I'm concerned. He doesn't win anything. He's never been that way. I have nothing against him, but it's his proven track record. And then you lose Thielen on one side. That hurts. You lose Dalvin Cook. And then you don't – here's the biggest thing that I don't really see anybody's talking about. They didn't address the worst defense in the NFL. They did nothing.
No.
They did nothing. Their players don't want to play there. I mean, Zadarius Smith wants out of there. You got Harrison Smith in the back, who's an all-pro guy, but he was hurt last year, and he's not happy. Yep. They have nobody back there. Their defense is atrocious. I really believe their team could go first to worst this year in that division. I think they could be that bad. I really do.
Especially, too, Nate, if all these one-score games go the other way.
What are they, 11-0 in one-score games? Or 11?
I think 11-1, 11-0, something like that. With that, and I just came across my YouTube the other day, the highlights of that comeback against the Colts. That was ridiculous. I watched that game live. That was stupid. Yep. How they won a lot of their games was stupid. I'm pretty sure, what's his name, the kicker, Joseph?
Yeah, he hit everything.
Joseph hit. Yeah, he literally hit everything, and he hit multiple 50-plus yard game-winning field goals, from what I recall.
Yeah,
luck can turn on you like that. I think it will. And that division, I know I keep alluding to the divisions here, but that division is going to be
better.
Heck of a crapshoot. Probably the Lions coming out of there. I think I've said that before. I got the Lions coming out of there just because of how much of a crapshoot the rest of that division is.
Yep.
And Kirk Cousins, great fantasy quarterback. Great fantasy quarterback. Gets all kinds of yards, touchdowns, doesn't throw a whole lot of picks.
Yep.
But in terms of being a good quarterback, helping your team win games, that's another story.
Yep.
Right. No, and just to go over to I guess, what everybody's been waiting for, because I really pissed a lot of people off, and that's okay, because, the truth hurts, I guess, Nate, Trevor. Yeah, but so Stephon Diggs, it has came out recently here. I don't know if it was over the weekend or whatnot. I was incapacitated all weekend. But the Buffalo Bills are open to trading Stephon Diggs. I just have to say this, and I didn't want to get too much into the video that I put out there on Instagram and Facebook, but I have to say this right now. If Stephon Diggs leaves, I think that window that the Bills could have won a Super Bowl might close. I mean that as nicely as I can, but you guys fucked up. Like seriously. But here's the one thing I'm going to throw at you guys, and it might shit your pants a little bit. Could you see him in a Green Bay Packers uniform?
Been seeing that too.
Yes.
Been seeing that too. No, I couldn't.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. It's just because they don't get those guys. They don't go get those players like that. They don't draft big name receivers in the first round, and they don't really go get them. They draft guys second, third, fourth round that work out. They just work out. Yes. Jordy Nelson worked out. Driver worked out. All these guys work out. Adams works out. That's how they get their guys. They're similar to Pittsburgh in that regard. They don't really go get those guys very often.
No.
I mean, they pretty much the only first round receiver I can remember the Steelers like going to get that wasn't like theirs was Darius Hayward-Bay, and he was terrible for a first round pick on the average. I don't see the Green Bay Packers doing that. They're a very conservative organization in that regard. Right. Would it be a great matchup? And would Jordan Love be ecstatic? Oh my gosh, yeah. They got gutted at wide receiver. I mean, they got Watson back and a couple others, but Lazard's gone and a couple other guys are out of there. So Randall Cobb's gone. So that would be, I mean, it would make a lot of sense. I mean, they should go get, I mean, with this logic, they could go get Hopkins too. He's a free agent, but they're not doing that either. I don't believe that. So I think they're going to sit on it. They're going to run the football with those two stud running backs. And they're going to play, I think they're going to play similarly to the Steelers. They're just going to kind of chunk and dunk down the field. That's what I think they're going to try to do.
Yeah, Trevor, what do you think here?
Yeah, that's him in a Green Bay Packers uniform. That's interesting. And just to pull another name out for you, Antonio Freeman was a 3rd-round pick way back when for the Packers. Just to further that point of they just work out. They just pick guys 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th round. It works out, which, I mean, we're all Steeler fans. We know how that kind of gets done too. We just pick guys and it just works. Yeah, if I'm Jordan Love, I'm chomping at the bit. I'm calling Packers front office every single day. Say, hey, sell the Haas to go get this guy, please. To go get this guy. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the Bills are going to want. Obviously, they're going to want a receiver in return, I would think. Probably some draft capital if they're just trading Diggs. Right. I don't know what that package would look like, and I honestly need to beef up on who actually has a draft capital coming up. I believe the Cardinals do, but they're not going to give up shit.
No.
They're in full-on rebuild mode.
Absolutely.
But it's amazing how quick this came apart and how much of a ceiling that this Bills team had. They just happened to run into probably one of the greatest dynasties we're ever going to see in the Kansas City Chiefs. I hate to say it. They're probably not done.
No.
Right.
They're probably not done. Andy Reid's not done. Travis Kelce, Patty Mahomes, they're not done. They're not done. I think they got a couple more in them. And it's just unfortunate that, especially for Bills fans, and I respect the hell out of Bills fans for staying as loyal for as long as they have and for developing the kind of culture that they have. I just feel so bad for them. They came up at the exact wrong time again.
Right. I guess what it kind of just pisses me off. I mean, in being on a team, I think we've all been on a team here. When you're going into this, OTAs and then in the training camp here coming up, for him to create this fucking distraction, I would be pissed off if I was Josh Allen. The Gabriel Davis, all the other, Von Miller. You fucking got me to come over, man. Now you're being a jackass. You know what I mean? The wounds are not closed, I don't think, from the 27-10 blowout against the Bengals. I think whatever the fuck was going on the sideline pissed him off, and he's holding a grudge. And I'm going to tell you, and this is going to piss them off, the Bills fans off, and maybe Vikings fans. Nate, he had this problem on the Vikings, Trevor. He has always. This is everybody's like, Stephon, he does. I'm not taking away from what he does for the community. He has done so much in Buffalo. He did in Minnesota. But I'm telling you, the guy's a fucking hothead. He wants to win. And if he's not getting the ball and they're not winning, he's going to jump ship. That's how he is. You know what I mean? Everybody's like, oh, I'm so surprised. Motherfucker, this was happening. This was an issue in the draft. I don't know. But
if there's one team I think that would make a run at him potentially, it's Dallas.
Oh, it'd be class act. His
brother's there. Yeah. They don't care about that. They need another receiver for Dak.
They do.
I mean, who they have, they're decent, but they could definitely use a Stephon Diggs to free up CeeDee Lamb. And, I mean, that would make their offense so much more dynamic.
I will say, too, that's probably the most overpaid receiving core in the NFL.
They have guys that are getting way too much.
Let's just make it more overpaid. Let's go get Mr. Diggs here. That would just tick another box for me to hate Dallas. I don't ever need a reason to do that, but that would just add on to it.
Right. Yeah, they're in win now mode too. I mean, Dallas they think they have a team around them, and I don't know what it is. They're so close. They just can't put it together. I don't know what it is, whether it's their kicker misses a bunch of field goals.
Whether it's 14 seconds.
Yeah, Dak doesn't know the rules. People get hurt. They get screwed by the officials one year. I don't know what it is. They're just
Dez did catch it. I will give Cowboys fans that. That's all I'm going to give them.
Yeah, I mean they've just had one thing after another, and I'm not a Dallas fan, but holy crap, what a frustrating 25 years it's been. My gosh, or Romo drops a snap. I mean, gosh, so frustrating.
He should have never been holding in the first place. So he's a starting quarterback, but anyway.
I mean, just to throw in there too, I saw this one thing, and it kind of made me sick to my stomach. I'm not a Bills fan at all. I like Josh, but they made comparison to Dak Prescott. In the big moments, they get there and they choke. And I was like, what the fuck? No. Josh basically takes over the fucking games. Like he has to. Dak, I think that comparison pissed me off because right when I saw that, I was like, he slid in the middle of the field when there was like 15 seconds left on the clock, and he thought he was going to get a spike off. No. But other news here too, fellas, we got to touch on Dalvin Cook. The Washington Commanders should be going after him right now. I just have to put that out there. Would you agree, or what do you think?
The Commanders should be going after anybody they can damn well afford.
Okay. They got the jackass out of, the owner of the team out of there. Let's start making some fucking.
They gotta rebuild the culture somehow. They need to get some veteran leaders in there, some talent to attract other talent.
Right.
Talent follows talent. That's the way it is in the NFL.
Right.
And right now the Commanders, they don't have a whole lot of that.
No.
I mean, who's their starting quarterback? Sam Howell, I think, is going to be their starter this year.
Yeah.
Who's going to go play for him?
I'll tell you what. I think he's going to be better than people think. I
actually do agree with you, but I'm just.
No, I see what you mean.
Still, he's definitely not in the upper echelon of quarterbacks in the NFL. Not even within his division.
No.
Right.
But I mean. The Commanders, man.
Well, we don't know what the fuck they're going to be because remember we were talking.
That's true too. I was just thinking of that. Yeah, they what are they having issues with the copyright or something with the name and come on, get your paperwork in.
I still think Washington football team's better than the Commanders. I don't know.
I agree. I think
it's better. I'll say this: if they sign Dalvin Cook, does it even make them marginally better? Maybe a smidge, but like.
He's got name value.
Yeah.
He's got name value.
Yeah. But like they got Gibson and they got Robinson. They lost McKissick, but like those two are really good. So how much is Dalvin Cook could even play if they have those three? I mean, he'll probably be the lead back if he would go there. But I don't know. Like marginally better. That doesn't fix any of the problems. They don't Chase Young's not working out, even though he's a great player. Like that's a huge problem. The quarterback position hasn't been able to be solved in 5 years. Unfortunately, Alex Smith, that sucks. It still makes me sick because he still had a couple more years in the tank. I fully believe if he doesn't shatter his leg.
Right.
Yeah. So that screws it up and then forgets how to play football overnight pretty much. And whoever else they've thrown in there, Heineke, they were never sold on the kid. They just wouldn't give him a full shot. No. He'd screw up once, it's like, can you just give him a chance? Yeah. So I hope they do that for Howell because the kid deserves it. He played really well at the end of the year. So let's see what happens.
Right.
What the Commanders did with Heineke is akin to a manager arbitrarily putting his guy in the bullpen and bringing him back to starter for no reason.
Yeah, just back and forth.
Yeah, he was just constantly back and forth. He never had a full-on fair shot at the job, even though he's balled out several times. Right. And he's shown what he can do. They just never gave him the full faith and confidence. To your point too, Nate, they already got those two running backs, but to have that three-headed monster in the backfield would take a lot of pressure off of Howell. It would probably help him in his development. It would help him get used to the offense, and it would probably take a lot of pressure off him too. He probably wouldn't get hit as much. Yeah. I mean, granted, I'm not sure how good Washington's offensive line is, but still, it's rebuilding times in Washington. Hopefully they finally get a sense of direction under this new regime.
Yeah. They don't have a lack of talent on offense. Their top three receivers are freaking unbelievable.
Yeah. Yes. No, I agree. I agree.
They got to stop people. I think they'll score points regardless of how bad their line is, whether it's running or passing. They got to stop people.
Yep.
And that's going to be tough to do in that division because there's some really talented offenses to try to stop.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. The Dallas passing attack, the Giants are probably going to take a step forward, I would think. And then obviously the Eagles. We know how good Jalen Hurts and those guys are. They're not going to lose a step.
No.
But
no, Taylor Heineke got fucked over in that deal, and I've always held on to that. And I've said that. I mean, last week when I was shitting my pants before the wedding, me and my dad were talking football. I'm like, the one guy that got fucked over? Taylor Heineke.
Yep.
He bowled out against Tom Brady in the Bucks, put his ass on the line, dove out for that one touchdown. The guy had no fucking business being in there, but and the teammates loved him. Rivera's like, he's the man, and then the GM just like, fuck him. We're done with Taylor Heineke, and then this guy comes in. Like,
get Carson Wentz, stardom, stink, gets the job, gets benched. Wentz goes back in, then Heineke goes in, and then Heineke gets hurt. Wentz, they're like, you can't possibly play anymore, so they put in Howe. And now they're like, all right, I guess we'll just play him. It's
right?
Like, really? All right.
Like, I felt like we were going through that a little bit. Is Kenny coming in? Is Mitch going? Like, you know what I mean? And you see, it's so much disruption. They're like, the timing's off. There's, guys are fucking wanting Heineke on the field. He's getting fucked, and then I think it pisses off everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, why the fuck is this guy not given a chance? Carson, he's trash. He was fucking trash. Who was he on? He was on the Eagles. Colts, and then Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy just needs to fucking be a backup, and that's okay. You know what I mean? Just
right. Nothing wrong with that.
No, but okay.
The same thing literally happened with the Jets and Mike White too.
Right.
Yeah. Well, he's
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
What's that, Nate?
Yeah, he's gonna have a chance to compete for starting job though.
He will. Yeah.
Finally leaving the Jets, but yeah, no, that's definitely true. I will say that White's injuries were part of that. And the Jets are also much worse than Washington. So they're just like, we just have to throw someone in there that can do anything because Zach can't do crap.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's a shame how that career's turned out for Zach. To think he was drafted second overall.
Jet blew awaits, buddy. We'll see you there soon.
Yeah. He's still cougar hunting, so that's what he's doing good in that avenue, but not on the football field. But anyways, we got to give it another shout out. Kenny Pickett got married yesterday. Great fucking day, huh? I mean, it is just a wonderful thing. To his fucking, oh my god, how long have they been? I can't remember how many years they've been. It's been like fucking years that they've been together, Nate.
Years or something like that.
Yeah, he looks beautiful as hell. His wife looked beautiful as hell. I mean, it's just a beautiful thing. Other things we got to touch on here that really got me geared up. George Kittle is already talking shit that he's going to shut down TJ Watt. Can we talk about this? That is not going to happen. I think TJ's going to fucking eat him up. That's not we're a little over a month away, and he's already talking shit. What do you think? Do you think that fuels TJ Watt, and he's going to have about 2 or 3 sacks in that game, Nate, or what do you think is going to happen?
I just think it's a race to who gets hurt first again this year, Kittle or Watt, because they both get hurt every freaking year. It doesn't matter. That's what comes to my mind right off the bat. Who's going to get hurt first between them? Both unbelievable players. Right. If you see George Kittle's antics, he's always doing that stuff. I don't think he's just a competitor, but I think it's a lot of fun. That's like what he brings to the game. Right. I find him a little bit more amusing than what Kelsey does, Travis Kelce. I hope Kittle stays on the field. He's one of the best pass catchers in the league, one of the best tight ends of all time already, and he's barely even hardly played. But yeah, you got to get it stirred up. It's going to be a great game. That's a great matchup. I'm excited to see it.
Oh yeah.
I do think that there's no question Kittle's going to get some catches. He's going to seal Watt a couple times on the end or kick him out. But I also think that Watt's going to get some tackles for loss, maybe a sack, some pressures. It's going to go back and forth. Each one of them is going to win some of those battles for sure. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong here. Trent Williams is a left tackle?
I think that's right, yeah.
Yeah, he's a left tackle, so he's going to be on the opposite side of Watt. I was going to say it helps if you got that big beefy boy right beside you too, Kittle, if you're talking a little smack. Right. But yeah, I know Kittle, and he's playing the pro wrestling game right now. He's out there cutting promos on TJ Watt, and then he's amping this thing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that. I love that out of him.
Right.
And like you said, Nate, what he does is a little bit, I would say, more tasteful and a little bit more wink, nudge, friendly type of a thing than what Travis Kelce does.
Yeah.
That's going to be an exciting game, honestly. Yeah. We don't know where San Francisco's really going to – they're obviously going to be good. But for the most part, the Steelers stay in those types of games. They did it to Tampa Bay last year, and they did it to a lot of teams. That's what the Steelers do. They play to their competition, good or bad. We know that all too well. And as long as TJ Watt's in the game, we always got a shot.
For sure.
We always got a shot. And yeah, Kittle might get a couple hedges in on him. That's fine.
Yep.
TJ's going to get his. He always does.
For sure.
He always does. And if he doesn't get his, guess what? He can jump up and pull down a pass from Brock Purdy a la Joe Burrow opening day last year with that ridiculous interception. He can do that too. So
that is if Purdy starts. Who knows if he'll be back?
That's true. Is Lance going to start?
I saw a crazy report over the weekend that Darnold is leading Trey Lance right now in their battle. I was shocked. I know Sam Darnold's an unbelievable passer of the football. He's got unbelievable talent. When he's got time, he's incredible. And he hasn't had time the place he's played. The Jets were terrible. Carolina was mid at best, and they were a better run blocking team than passing team. But I think that they really are not confident in Trey Lance. If Darnold beats him out, they're screwed. They're stuck with him because I'm sorry, but if Darnold jumps Trey Lance and Trey Lance been on offense for like 3 or 4 years, who's going to want him? You're in trouble. You might just eat that rookie contract and say, all right, Purdy's our guy. He's cheaper. He's better. And then just patch it with another veteran like Darnold and whoever else moving forward. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I saw. And Shanahan didn't deny it, and he's usually a pretty upfront character in his pressers. So we'll see what happens there. Just something to monitor.
Yeah, we saw how upfront he was when he said Lance is our guy, and then unfortunately Lance gets hurt, and in classic Shanahan fashion, you can just plug a quarterback in there. He figures it out. He runs the system beautifully, and if Jimmy Garoppolo can do it, if Brock freaking Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, can do it, I don't have any doubt that Sam Darnold can also do it. That's, like you said, great offensive line, a lot of time in the pocket, and it's a lot of little dinks and dunks to the likes of Debo, to Kittle. These guys can get you just yards after the catch and make you look like $1 million. It's great.
Right. Yeah. The only guy you can't plug in there is Josh Johnson, unfortunately. Love you, Josh. What a journeyman. Yeah. Couldn't quite do it for them. So.
Could you plug Zach Wilson in there, you think? No, him too. He's off the list.
I think I'd have picked Josh Johnson still.
Oh my God.
Okay.
That, I'm going to tell you, that playoff game was the hardest football game to watch. And it was like, holy shit. Okay, handoff after handoff after handoff. I'm like, for fuck's sake, just get Kittle back there. Just have Kittle start throwing some pass.
They thought about Kittle and McCaffrey, and honestly, I think they were better off than going back to Purdy with a torn UCL. God love the guy for going in there and battling. But Josh Johnson he was all over the place. You could tell the dude just didn't have it that day. I don't know. He's definitely had it. He's been with so many teams. He's been around for so long, but that just wasn't his day. He hadn't been in that offense enough.
With how complicated that system is too, with it takes so much, and it seems like it's very instinctual. It takes so much knowledge of where everyone's at on the field at this specific time. And obviously NFL offenses, they're hard enough as it is, knowing which route these guys run and knowing, you have to send a guy in motion. What do you got to do? There's a reason that normal people don't play in the NFL. And there's a reason that most people in the NFL don't play quarterback. These offenses are complicated. And when you only have a couple of weeks to learn the system, the likes of Shanahan's,
good luck.
It's not going to work out. You can run basic plays that you would run on a Madden video game, but I don't think you could run really much else.
No. But I just have to say this. I think whatever quarterback's in there, I think the Steelers are going to make his day a living hell. I really do. We were down at the beach watching it on, outside by the pool there. I'm like, holy fuck, we're going to beat the Bengals. Then it starts going the other way. We blocked the field goal. I'm like, holy shit. Boswell kicks it, it hits off. Like they have it in them, Nate. You know what I mean? Like they shut Burrow down, and I mean, what he threw 4 interceptions that day, 3, 4,
Yeah,
5.
I think 5.
I mean, holy fuck! I mean,
yeah,
and then
5 or 6. I mean, he had the worst game probably of his life,
I
and it was. I was like, this isn't real. I'm living in a simulation. This guy really is not starting out his season like this after going to the Super Bowl. No way. And then like I think his next game they didn't play well either, and they're like, is Joe Burrow like was it a wonder? And then he's just like here, and then he just went off for the rest of the games, and they won the division, got to the playoffs and all that stuff.
Right.
Classic NFL media judge the whole season based on 2 games. It's Joe Burrow we're talking about. Come on.
This guy's different, man.
I hate that he's in our division.
Oh,
I love the guy so much.
Yeah, I agree.
I love the guy. I don't like that he doesn't like country music. I did figure that out last weekend. He don't like country music. He said that in like a OTA interview, something like that.
How can you be from Athens County, Ohio, and not like country music? That's like the weirdest thing I've ever heard in my life.
He said he doesn't like it.
That's terrible.
Those are like the only 2 things I don't like about him. He's wearing those Bengals uniforms. He's wearing that freaking Bearcat helmet or whatever the hell it is. Bengal tiger helmet, duh. Yeah. And he doesn't like country music. Other than that, love the guy. Love the guy. I wish you were on our team as much as I love Kenny.
I'd take Burrow over Kenny. And
yes. I think anybody with a brain would.
It's very hard for me to say that, but yeah, I mean, I think we're really and move on to NBA here in a minute, but I really think that all the people that were giving me shit last year, he's not the guy. Drew, he had fucking 5 more interceptions and touchdowns, all this other shit. I get it, yes, okay, but I really think this year, I think Kenny's really going to show what he can do. I do. I don't know how far he takes us though, but if it doesn't fucking work out, I'm actually very concerned. If this year doesn't go good, I'm like, oh fuck, okay, what are we doing? Like,
maybe we'll trade for Kyler Murray because I think they're going to go. I would be so pissed that now, but all we know is he's going to be available. There's no question.
Right.
Are you trying to give us off-season heart attacks, Nate? Come on. That's what the season's for.
You know the Steelers are never doing something like that.
No, I know.
Around.
I know.
You took me back to the trauma of when I was just a little boy and I saw Ben fell off that motorcycle. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Big Ben fucking died. No, he's in the hospital. And then that was close to that, Nate.
Yeah, but back then we had Charlie Batch, and who was a former starter, and he was old reliable.
Right. Yep.
Like
Maddox might have still been on the roster.
You actually trust the guy, right. And since then we've had Laundry Jones and the Reindeer and
Dennis Dixon
and all these goofballs. Just
Michael Vick for his last 2 years.
I mean, maybe Byron Leftwich was a decent one. He was okay. Like if you get rid of Batch and Leftwich, like Laundry Jones, so terrible. Mason Rudolph, not good. Duck, not good. Like they were okay in these random moments, but so inconsistent. So if they work out, we're in some trouble because I don't trust Mitchell Trubisky. I don't trust Mason. We've already seen what Mason's capable of. So we will probably have to reevaluate quick if it doesn't go well for him this year.
Yes.
I will say at least Duck Hodges is doing well in the female department as well.
Yeah, he's not doing bad.
No.
I think he's happy with where he is in life.
Right.
I agree. But Nate, I'm going to have you say this. So the NBA draft happened. That was a big thing on the night of the rehearsal. We had to map it out so we could get back to the house by 8:00 so we could see what the hell's going to happen here. I fucked his name up multiple times. Alcohol was in play. Can you pronounce the first round pick, please, or the first overall pick?
Victor Wembanyama. You just call him Wemby. He's going to go probably by Wemby for the rest of his life.
Okay.
Because Victor is Victor Oladipo or Depot. People call him that, but yeah, Wemby. So what a player.
Right. Yeah. No, I am very. Everybody's like, I'm still on the fence with him. We have to see. I know Pop will take care of him and all that shit, but the lower, extremities injuries, I could see being an issue. He needs to get fucking weight on, like I told you guys. We need to get carnation breakfast in his body every hour, every fucking hour. Drinking a carnation breakfast.
Oh, geez.
Think about that. 7'5", and he could, not close to Shaq. Maybe, weight wise, maybe a little closer to him. But think about that. He could shoot, and he's just some fucking meatball, just bowling over people. I definitely think they're going to be putting him on a diet to get the weight up. Don't you think?
The thing is too with him, and Nate, I spoke with you about this. His personal training team is absolutely ridiculous. He's going to put so much money into his body, and the primary thing that they focus on, injury prevention.
Okay.
Doing the proper stretches, proper conditioning, like you said too, Drew, proper diet for the sport that he's going to be playing.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly need to look that up a little bit more, because everyone keeps talking about it, and I'm just kind of relaying information here. But
right.
A lot of what his team does personally is the injury prevention side of things. Does he need to put a little bit of weight on to, for the physicality of the NBA game? Yeah, right. Absolutely he does. But I think some people tend to put too much emphasis on how much weight he needs to put on, how much muscle he needs to put on. He doesn't need to turn into what Giannis did.
No.
I don't think he needs to do that.
No.
But, yeah, he does need to do some stuff, but he's got a very good baseline for where he's at from an injury prevention standpoint. And he doesn't have an injury history, from what I can recall, at all, even though he's been playing for how long at this point? Mm-hmm. We've seen a lot of these guys. Nate, you've talked about it before, like the balls. They're playing AAU ball. They're playing ball at 5 years old, and their bodies get worn out. This Wembanyama guy, he's been playing for a little bit less than that time frame, but still quite a long time. And he hasn't had any major injuries yet. Right. No signs of slowing down. And obviously his career in the NBA is just getting started.
Right. Nate, what do you think?
I hope to goodness the kid stays healthy. It's just, in terms of weight, I think you're right, Drew, but it can't be excessive. I think I told Trevor 15 to 25 pounds. That'd get him between 240, 250. That would get him to
get a little leaner. Sure. Yeah. Get a little leaner.
Soon, but you get the thing about that, you get that muscle on, it's really hard on your joints, which is exactly the parts of him that would start to deteriorate sooner, whether it be the ankles and feet and knees. So he can't gain too much, but a little bit, and I think he'll be even better. He's such a raw athlete for someone his size. Usually you don't hear raw athlete with guys that big. Right. You hear raw athlete from someone that's 6 foot to 6'8", but he's truly like a raw athlete at 7'4", 7'5" in shoes. He's not going to shoot a high 3-point percentage this year. No. I think that the dude's going to just be probably double guy, maybe almost triple-double guy with blocks. I don't think he'll get as many blocks in the NBA, but he's going to get a crap ton of blocks. So I hope he does great. He's got so much freaking potential, and he's just a player. He does things that you can't even explain because nobody's ever done it before. Right. He shoots a 3-pointer, he takes one step to the basket and jams a putback dunk, taking one step from the 3-point line.
Right.
He does reverse layups, and his body's 15 feet out, but his arms are so long at 8-foot wingspan, he just still lays it in, doesn't float it in. It's just insanity, the intangibles and the athleticism this kid has. So I'm rooting for him. I have nothing against him. Seems like a humble guy. Seems like his priorities are in order. And lately, the NBA out of Europe has been really, really good. The last 5-7 years has been really stinking good. There's a few they miss on, but it is really good lately. So,
go ahead.
Hey, sorry, I don't mean to take over your show here, Drew. But Nate, I kind of wanted to. Nate, I wanted to ask you this too. Rookie of the year, Wemby or the Field?
That's tough.
Because I know you really like Scoot.
Yeah.
You really like Scoot Henderson. You really like Miller.
I don't like Miller with Charlotte.
You don't like Miller?
I like
Oh,
Miller.
you don't like him with Charlotte. You like Miller. You don't like him with Charlotte.
No, I'll tell you why I don't like him in Charlotte. They have no structure, and that's what Brandon Miller needs.
That's true. That's
Structure.
true.
He's so freaking talented. He's going to score points. But what I see with the Hornets are like the Rockets 2.0. It's going to be KPJ and Jalen Green firing. It's going to be Miller and Rozier and Ball just firing away and playing no defense and terrible efficiency. I think Brandon Miller is going to make some shots and score a lot of points. I think he's going to be horribly inefficient. I think that's what it's going to come down to.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I think he'll put up some crazy stats sometimes. He's not a great passer. Brandon Miller isn't. He's a great rebounder, but like you're 6'8". Like pretty much, if you're 6'8", you pretty much are just a great rebounder because you're just big. You know,
right?
He'll get some boards and stuff. I'm gonna say the field though.
The field.
Yeah.
Who are you thinking in the field? Scoot probably.
I'm gonna pick Scoot. I think they're giving him the ball. Damian Lillard misses games, and they're just gonna say, Scoot, just go play. And he's a freaking machine. He just plays ball. He just balls downhill. He can hit threes. He plays amazing defense. He is such a great athlete. I think that kid could just flat out play. I don't know. I don't know what it is about him. When you just see those Derrick Rose, John Morant, Russell Westbrook type athletes, I don't care if you can't shoot. You're so dang fast. No one can stay in front of you, or they don't want to stay in front of you. So at 6'2", you know, if he hits 25, 30% of his threes, he's going to just get to the bucket. So I'm really high on him. I really like the pick by Portland, especially if Dame – I don't think he's going anywhere, but if Dame leaves, that dude's going to get mad points for sure. He's going to have to.
Yeah.
He can do it.
Yeah, I mean, who else does Portland really have other than Lillard and I guess Anfernee Simons? I do like him a lot too.
Yeah, they got a young core, a lot of guards, but
they do. Yeah,
Nurkic
are pretty guarded.
You know, Scoot's going to get the ball. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. No, and I just like, you know, Wemby. He comes in and he's already saying, "I want to dunk over LeBron." That I like the fire. I like that. You know, I don't think I can think back to any rookie that's ever said that, Nate. I mean, that kind of let's go after the fucking icon of the league. Maybe Allen Iverson with Michael, maybe back then, way back when. But I mean, to say, hey, I'm gonna fucking take on the best. I mean, that's the kind of guy I want on my fucking team.
Chet Holmgren got asked last year who's the best player in the NBA, and he said, "Well, hopefully me in 2 months," and then proceeded to not play a game. So
yeah. Well, he's eligible for Rookie of the Year too, technically.
Yeah, I'll say this though, I think Chet will be good, but they have so many players. I mean, goodness gracious,
they do, and they still have so much draft capital too. It's nuts.
Yeah. You got a 30-point per game player in Shai. You got Josh Giddey, who's freaking unbelievable. Ort's good. You got some really, really good players. It's not going to be Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren would have to average a triple-double to probably win Rookie of the Year, and I don't think that's happening.
What impresses me about that Giddey guy, he's not too skilled of a ball handler. He just goes straight downhill and just blows by you.
Smooth. He's just smooth, man.
Yes, and he won't miss a layup.
Nope.
He's not going to miss a driving shot.
Doesn't miss free throws.
Nope.
Fundamental. So fundamental.
Mm-hmm. Plays good defense from what I've seen.
20.
Yeah.
20.
Yeah.
That Thunder team is so talented. Yeah. They got to get a couple veterans in there, just like the Grizzlies. That's the Grizzlies' problem too.
Yeah. I was going to say, at what point do they start utilizing some of that draft capital? Maybe, you know, trade for some vets or utilize whatever cap space they have left. Oh, obviously they're going to have to re-sign guys like Shea and Giddey, but you know, at what point do they like take this step forward to being a real contender in the West?
Tell you what, though, the way that the CDA is being written, you're not going to see 3 and 4 max contracts on the team anymore, or super maxes. Yeah. You might have a few maxes, but you're going to have to build the old traditional way through the draft, a few free agencies, maybe a few trades. It's not like we're going to give you 8 picks like the freaking Minnesota Timberwolves for Rudy Gobert, the stupid idiots, and have 3 centers that are worth $450 million.
Holy fuck.
Stupid idiot. Yeah. I mean, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's It's not a center's game anymore, you guys.
No.
It hasn't been in 10 years.
No.
Right.
I don't care if you have 3 7-footers. I don't care. You need another player with Anthony Edwards to score the ball. You got to get up and down.
Right.
You have to. You're not winning.
I have to throw it out here. Cat, he can shoot. He can shoot outside, but I think, and if you're a fan of him and you're watching this, or when it's on YouTube, you're a fan of him or Facebook. He's a bitch. He is. He does not like contact, Nate. I am not impressed. He's kind of like Anthony Davis in a sense. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't like to get in there and be a guy we're going to be touching on here soon, Dennis Rodman. He's not Dennis Rodman. He doesn't like the contact. You know what I mean? Do you agree with that or no?
He's always been a finesse guy. Also, I'll say this about Cat. He's one of my all-time favorite players. I've been following Cat since he was in high school.
Right.
He was a great player. He went to Kentucky, who I like in college. He doesn't play well in the playoffs.
No.
He's a regular season guy. A lot of empty stats. Make a lot of all-star teams, a lot of some all-NBA, all this stuff. But I don't know, unless he gets out of Minnesota, I don't think he's winning anything. I mean, they don't win anything out there anyway. They stink. They're one of the worst franchises in American professional sports. They're that for a reason. I mean, look at the stats are in, man. The stats are in.
It's just constant mediocrity in Minnesota basketball.
Yeah. Right. No, Nate, I just love when you get fired up and you get on these rants. People enjoy it as well. But no, I got to throw this out here. So I've been waiting for ever since I started this podcast. I could touch on Dennis Rodman's controversy. He's back at it again. I don't know if you saw it. He said nowadays, if Larry Bird was playing right now, he'd be over in Europe. Do you agree with that, or what do you think?
Hell no.
Okay.
Hell no. Larry Bird's one of the best and hardest workers of all time in NBA history.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, no. He was like a European guy that was born in the United States. That's what I'd see him as. He would just do everything. And that's what he did in his era too. He'd do everything. He'd be slower in molasses. But if Luka can play that way and Josh Giddey can play that way and a few other guys can play kind of that. I mean, Kyle Lowry did it, for crying out loud. And he's only 6 foot tall.
Right.
He played kind of that European slow down, get to your spots kind of offense. Larry Bird, oh my gosh, he's one of the best players ever.
Right.
He would figure it out. No question. I don't think there's any. I don't know how he can say that. It's just Celtics, Bulls, and Pistons Celtics rivalry, I think. And these guys always take these subtle shots at each other once in a while. I mean, how else do you stay relevant? I mean, Rodman's going to be transcendent forever, but in a basketball sense, he isn't around the game anymore. You got to say something to stay relevant,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's damn near 40 years after the fact. You still have this little mini rivalry going. But anyway, Larry Bird, one of my, dare I say, idols growing up as a young basketballer. His shooting form was absolutely pure. And like you said, Nate, he did everything right. He was so fundamentally sound, and he was so talented. A story that I always like about him. I forget the time and place, but I remember one time he decided from 15 feet in, I'm going to play left-handed. Just for shits and gigs, right? Just for shit. He scores 44 points. Come on. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how good he was in his era and with the talent he played with and against. Would he survive in today's NBA? Oh, fucking yes, he would. Okay. Absolutely. Rodman's out of his mind. Granted, he's out of his mind most of the time anyway.
Nothing new.
Mean,
right.
How this guy is friends with like the freaking the dictator of North Korea. I don't know how he's making peace with those guys.
Right.
He's weird, man. He's weird. He's one of the hardest workers in NBA history and one of the most underrated players, period.
Right.
But he's just outside of basketball, man. He's strange. He's a strange dude. The world needs its weirdos, and Dennis Rodman's one of them.
He fits the mold, man.
Oh my
think,
God.
and that's why I love him, because he's fucking weird, and I'm a little fucking out there. If you ask, I mean, you guys been around me enough, you can see that. But I did read this book, and it's funny that he brings it up. I watched this whole, I would. There was an episode on Vlad TV that he did. Only book I've ever read except in college. Well, in college I did Cliff Notes. I didn't actually. The only actual book, being an adolescent to adult, was Bad as I Want to Be. He came out with it in '96, but he touches on it nowadays. He felt that the NBA was, picking on him about all the fines he got, and they made it more about, Jordan and Shaq when they were doing advertisement than him. Personally, I think at the time, I think Dennis Rodman actually had more. His jerseys were selling more than Jordan, because of that whole fucking wedding dress thing and all that shit. So I think he really is just trying to get back in the spotlight. I don't know if he's coming out with a new type of liquor or a new brand, but I have to back him on it. But that Larry Bird thing, I was like, him and Magic, kind of. I know I don't mean to do the Lakers Celtics thing there, but I mean, those two transcended the game, and I still think they could be in any era they could fucking play. I mean, some of the passes, the rebounding, the fucking I don't know.
I will die on the hill that the NBA would be nowhere near what it is today without that rivalry.
No.
As much as we get sick of hearing it, we get sick of hearing about the Red Sox and Yankees. We get sick about these long-standing rivalries that get oversaturated. Lakers Celtics is one of them, but we're nowhere near where we are today without that.
Right.
And we're nowhere near where we are today without guys like Larry freaking Bird.
Right. No, I agree with you. But anything else in NBA that I missed you want to touch on?
I'd just like to say I think it was a really good draft. I think there was some really good players. Was great to see the Thompson twins go 4 and 5. That's unbelievable. Only them and the Ball brothers have been the only sets of brothers to go top 5 in NBA history. So that's pretty incredible, especially coming from Overtime Elite, because there's nothing really to compare it to. I mean, I know there's great players. There's no question. Like, Overtime Elite's got some really great athletes and players, but it's kind of, some trial and tribulations for them. So we'll see how those kids do. Golden State gets another freaking unbelievable shooter to throw in there, who's, from Santa Clara, one of only 3 first-round picks from Santa Clara in the history of that school, and 2 in 2 years, Jalen Williams being the one last year with OKC, and Steve Nash back in '96, which is arguably the best draft of all time. So that's a great selection there. Penn State, I think, had 2 guys drafted, so that's pretty special. I didn't even know that was allowed. I thought that was only allowed in football for them to have draft picks.
Right.
Good for
second rounders in Jalen Pickett and Seth Lundy, but still,
right.
Their name got called.
Yep. So pretty special there, and just all around a really, really good draft. We'll see what happens. Interesting that Jet Howard's with the Magic. It's like they can't get rid of that last name, whether it's Juwan, Dwight, or now Jet. Not surprised that continues to be a name down there in Orlando, as weird as that is. So, yeah, really, really cool draft. I watched most of it. So,
yeah.
I tell you what impresses me too, guys, is the avenues that a lot of these players take to get to the NBA, because it's so much more widely available what you can do now. You don't have to go to college. You can go to the G League. You can go to Overtime Elite. You can go overseas. And we saw a great representation of that in this draft. Obviously, the 2 top 10 picks from France, the Thompsons from Overtime Elite. Most of your guys are still going to be drafted out of colleges, but there's so many more avenues that have opened up for these guys to come through. It's going to evolve the draft as we go along here. I'm very excited to see that too. And it's going to have to make me pay attention to basketball more so than college. I got to look at these other types of programs too, which, it's great for the game. Competition is good for the game. And that's what we have right now at the under NBA level.
Yeah. Number 1 pick next year, projected at the moment. He's not going to college. He's in the G League. I think he's with G League Ignite. 6'10", 6'11" kid from the United States. His parents are European pros that came over here. He's got a crazy last name that I can't pronounce again. One of those foreign guys, but 6'10" guard that has unbelievable range. I mean, these guys are just, I swear they're growing them in labs. They're growing them with some of this Bill Gates meat in these labs, man. It's just freaking crazy. Unbelievable, man. So, yeah, definitely true, Trevor. Got to stay locked in with time elite, these Australian leagues, high school. I mean, there's so many great basketball players. It's so
real quick. Sorry, Nate. Is it that Zachary Risa? Sure. Yeah. Is that okay? I just butchered it for you. But continue, Nate. Sorry, I interrupted you there.
Dude can just shoot the rock, man. Just watch his highlights. He's so long, man. Can he shoot? Holy crap! It's not Trae Young Curry, but it's like off the catch. Oh my goodness, he's just knocked down, and his length to stretch the floor. He can probably play 3 through 5, but he's got to put some weight on if he plays the 5. But if they play small, he'll play the 5. He can just light it up.
Right.
Someone that size to shoot that way, just rare ability for sure.
Yeah. No, and I got to say this too, and I don't know if it's been in big conversations here. I'm very high on Kentucky star Oscar Tshiebwe getting signed by the Indiana Pacers. Mm-hmm. I like that fucking guy. He's on a 2-way contract right now. I hope he makes it. I enjoyed watching him, Nate. I mean, he was kind of like old school big guy, fucking grabbing boards and dunking on motherfuckers. I mean, I like Oscar Tshiebwe.
I think he's the first Naismith winner to not get drafted this century.
Wow.
I think I saw that. Which is a shame because I have no doubt in my mind that Oscar's an NBA player.
Oh, my God, yeah.
And he's a guy you root for because he played for Kennedy Christian or Kennedy Catholic and right down the road. And I don't care if you say anything about the recruiting and the blah and the blah and blah. Who cares? This dude, represented Western Pennsylvania, went to West Virginia, which is basically Western Pennsylvania, right down the road. Right. And then Kentucky, which is Western PA connected to with John Calipari and company and stuff. But yeah, I think he'll have a career in the NBA, no question. And I think Drew Timme will too. I really do.
Yep.
I really like Drew Timme. I know his skill set's weird for what the NBA is. And I know Oscar's is too. But for effort and size and smarts, I think we'll get him through. I think that their effort is just above what some of the other guys' talent plus effort will get them. Right. I think that those guys will continue to figure out the NBA, while some of these guys that were picked, their talent won't carry them through.
Right. Because
you see it all the time.
Right.
I mean, what was it? Christian Braun? That dude's effort's just crazy. He's not the best. He's a great athlete. He's in the NBA, but his effort's unbelievable. And that's why he's an NBA champion. And that's why he won a high school state title. And that's why he won at Kansas. His effort's crazy. So, and I know he's a guard, but those guys' efforts like Timme and Tshiebwe, I think it'll get them through.
Rumors are floating around that Timme might go to Milwaukee.
Oh, now that would be, I would enjoy that.
I think it would be a very good role player there. I think it would be very good.
Yeah, we're going to lose Brook Lopez, so they're going to have a hole at center. Now, Drew Timme doesn't have the same ability as Brook Lopez.
No.
I wish he could have done that shooting the ball when he was with the Lakers. I mean, goodness gracious, he couldn't hit freaking ocean if he fell out of a boat, and then he couldn't shoot. He was horrible with the Lakers. He reinvented his whole career with Milwaukee. Good for him. But
I've seen him and Marc Gasol are the bane of your existence, Nate.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, I've never seen, to have Powell. We were spoiled, Nate. Him and Kobe complimented, and then you get Mark there, and it's like, oh, maybe LeBron. It's like, holy fuck, dude, get off. You're. I don't even. What? He's a 7-footer. Right. Yeah. He's out on the 3. And he's fucking has cinder blocks on his feet.
Oh yeah, he was. We don't need a 7-foot swingman. Get down there. Get down in the freaking paint.
Oh my God! And I was so excited when they got him, but I'm like halfway through the season.
So slow.
Oh my God! I mean, even the fucking inbound. coming up the court when he would inbound the ball to LeBron.
He should have never been the inbounder.
Oh my
Never.
God.
Never. They should have said, Mark, get your ass down on the block. Get down there. Get out of the way. Get down there, get rebounds, and do nothing else.
I mean,
don't stand up top and be the swing man.
Oh, Jesus.
You're 7 foot.
And they had to slow down the fucking offense for him to get down there to set a
Just
screen.
be on the floor. Come on.
Oh,
get down there. Don't even defensive rebound. Just get down there for offense. Get down the post. Just goodness gracious.
But the worst part was he would get down there, try to set a screen. After the screen, he was fucking gassed. And they would have to pull him out.
He had to run 20 feet to set the screen up top, and then he would roll. And all he did was pick and pop. He did the pop. He didn't do the pick and roll. He did pick and pop because he didn't want to go down there.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And he'd shoot from the elbow and it'd fucking dink right off the glass or fucking off the rim. Anyway, so let's move on.
All I had to say was 2 words. They give us 10 minutes of content.
That year with him was miserable. We mistimed him. He was defensive player of the year. He was a great player, he's all-star, but we mistimed him. Oh, my goodness gracious.
It was a bad But anyways, we can move on to MLB here, boys. You guys take over here. I know Trevor, he probably has a feel-good story that always warms our hearts. So go ahead, boys. Take over, Nate. Trevor, where Trevor wants to go first?
Trevor, I want to hear about the feel-good story of the week here, man.
Oh, the feel-good. Well, I got I'm not going to lead with the feel-good story here. I'm going to lead with some astronomical numbers for you.
Oh,
here we go.
Of course, talking about the Angels winning 25-1 over the Rockies on Friday. And I found this very strange, too. All of the runs that the Angels got were earned. No errors in the game whatsoever. And no stolen bases from the Angels. Just pure, unadulterated hitting.
Yeah.
Pure, unadulterated hitting. It was absolutely ridiculous. I got to bring up the box score here. It was absolutely ridiculous. 28 hits, which included a 13-run inning in the 3rd inning, followed by an 8-run inning in the 4th.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
And just for shits and giggles, Griffin Canning got the win for the on the pitching side of things. But yeah, 25 runs, 28 hits, no errors across the board, no stolen bases across the board, and I believe the Rockies issued like 6 walks, something along those lines. Jesus. So just pure unadulterated dominance, and in classic Angels fashion, we know the old memes. Ohtani and Trout do something that hasn't been done in a century. Angels lose 4-2.
Yep.
Right.
In classic Angels fashion, they lost the series.
Yep.
They lost the series. That was the one game that they won. They lost the first game of the series, and they lost the 3rd game of the series to the freaking Colorado Rockies, who are among the worst teams in the NL right now.
The last
not the worst. Yeah, no, absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, believe it or not, Ohtani and Trout only combined for 2 RBIs in that game.
Yeah, what was Ohtani? Only 1 for 7, I think, right?
He was 1 for 7. Trout was 3 for 3. He scored 3 runs. Yeah, those 2 only combined for 2 runs, essentially. Well, I guess Ohtani scored a run, and like I said, Trout scored 3. But they only combined for 2 runs driven in. Brandon Drury, of all people, had 4 RBIs. So,
good.
Good for that guy, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so thinking of those astronomical numbers, and I watched the game live too. I watched the 13-run inning live, and it got me thinking, especially for this show, I'm going to look up and see what's the record, right? What's the record for runs scored in an MLB game? And I'll give you a little bit of MLB history here. Back in 1897, and Nate's nodding his head because he probably knows this because he knows the most random sports facts on the planet. 1897, the Chicago Colts, now the Chicago Cubs, set the record for runs in an MLB game with 36 against the Louisville Cardinals. 36.
Holy shit.
36. And of course, we probably all know about the modern day record with the Rangers back in 2007. They scored 30 against the Baltimore Orioles in a game there.
Right. And
I also wanted to look up how many runs, what's the record for runs scored in an inning? Because, 13-run inning, it's a couple. It's a couple. And shocker, another Chicago franchise, the Chicago White Stockings, in 1883 scored 18 runs in one inning.
Holy shit.
18. And again, that's the Chicago Cubs franchise for you. I guess these guys have gone by, I guess they get sick of names every now and again, which I'm surprised they didn't get sick of names in the how many years that they didn't win a World Series, but that's another story.
108 years, baby.
108 years. They can wait 108 more as far as I'm concerned.
Wish it was 1008.
Yeah, 1008. They can go a millennium without a World Series, and my great 17 greats grandchildren will be happy. Then the modern day record in 1953 for runs in an inning belongs to the Boston Red Sox against the Tigers.
Okay.
And then here's another one for you. Most runs in an MLB game combined. Let me pull this box score up here.
Oh, geez.
It's a few, and the Cubs keep coming up on this little journey that I was on.
Right.
I gotta scroll and find it. I apologize. Here we go. Here we go. Most runs scored in a game in MLB history. August 25th, 1922. Chicago Cubs 26. Philadelphia Phillies 23.
Holy shit.
49.
Wow.
49. Which included a 10-run inning from Chicago and a 14-run inning from Chicago.
Holy smoly.
Yeah.
And that's
I gotta pull up the box score here because obviously where's the pitching?
right.
Where's the pitching? Right? Amazingly. Oh wait. Oh yeah. No, never mind. Somebody actually pitched in this game, and somebody actually got a save in this game. Tiny Osborne. What a name that is. Tiny Osborne. And I looked up this guy too, UL Eubanks. I think he gave up a couple of runs. This guy had like 2 career appearances, finished with an ERA of 27 in his career from way back when.
Oh, I love that.
It's just fun looking up all these old stats. Fun fact too: the Pirates lost both legs of a doubleheader on this same day, August 25th, 1922.
Of course.
But yeah,
Honest Wagner on that team back then, right?
You take a deep dive in old baseball stats. I can stay busy for hours and hours and hours.
Oh boy. You know who I'm huge on. I don't want to ruin.
Take that all in, guys.
I don't want to ruin your whole thing here. I threw his name. Was Honest Wagner on that team back then?
I'm done.
Okay.
I think
1922.
Yeah.
No, he retired in like the 1910s at some point.
he's probably coaching. He's probably coaching at that point.
I would imagine, but yeah, I got to actually look that up now. I'm actually curious as to when he retired because he played from 1897 to 1917. Honestly.
Yeah, I think that 1909 and 1903 he played, or I'm sorry, not 1903. I think 1909 he played in the World Series, and I think 25 they played in one just after he retired as well.
Not too long after. Yeah.
Okay.
It might have been. They might have played in it in 1903. I know that Boston
they did play it in 1903. They lost 5-3 from what I recall. Yeah.
It was a nine games.
Way back when it was a 9-game series.
Yep. And they lost to Boston, and then 1904 they didn't play a World Series, which was really weird.
Huh.
Yeah. I actually just, this is kind of a little tangent here. I saw a little what was the movie called? It was about the Black Sox that threw the World Series.
1919.
1919. Yeah, I forgot they actually won a couple of games in that series, just because some of the players weren't cooperative with the screw job. But.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, no, I just enjoy him on MLB The Show. He's a
stud. The flying stud.
Yeah,
do it all, man.
Yep. You can put. He plays 5 positions, I think, or 4. You can put him anywhere if you wanted to. I don't know. That's just wild to me. I just enjoy the fuck out of him. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
But
yeah. On to modern day news here. Freddie Freeman also joined the 2000 hit club. Hit a nice little frozen rope to right center field. Got a double in the Dodgers' loss to the Astros. Which, if I'm being honest, I wish both teams could lose that game.
Yeah.
I wish both teams could have lost that series.
Yep.
But just for the fact that the Dodgers won it, I'm fine with that. I think the Astros won that game. I think the Dodgers won the series as well.
Yeah, Houston won 6-5, I believe, yesterday.
Yeah, they did. Yep. But yeah, Freddie Freeman, not too long after Andrew McCutchen, it's to the 2000 hit club. And transitioning from that, I saw a little rumor today, a little bird called Bleacher Report told me that Andrew McCutchen might be traded. The Rangers have interest in him.
what the fuck?
And according to, I want to get his name right here, John Morosi of MLB Network, he's one of the broadcasters there, said on Twitter that a pitcher would likely have to be involved with the deal. Obviously, with DeGrom being out until late next year, with the Tommy John and with the UCL and all whatever injury is going to plague him for the rest of his career, we would have to package a pitcher with that, and obviously Andrew McCutchen with the career resurgence that he's been having this season. The good news is I read an initial report the Pirates aren't willing to do that right now.
Okay.
So the good news is I will get to see Andrew McCutchen on Wednesday. I'm going to the game. I'm going to see him against the Padres. So I'll at least get to see him one more time before they potentially ship him out in these middle months, which it would be a Pirates thing to do. It would be an absolute Pirates thing to do if they did this. And you've said this on this program before, Nate. This is when Andrew McCutchen gets hot. This is when his value peaks. And this is when his trade value peaks. So it would make all the sense in the world, just because it's the Pirates, that they would do this. But, you know, I would say I would, if they did this, I'd burn the stadium down, but I haven't done it yet. So I don't think that's ever going to happen.
I guess
I know you said too, Nate, rumors Bednar might be included in that package because he's been a surprise. And I know the Texas bullpen has not been that great. I think they're fifth lowest in ERA in the AL, from what I recall.
They stink out loud. They're terrible.
They're pretty bad with their starting pitching is not that great, and their bullpen stinks out loud, like you said.
Yep.
So it would make sense, a package that includes Bednar and McCutchen to the Rangers for a sack of peanuts, for all I care.
Yeah.
But yeah, thoughts on what's going to happen with that? Is that going to happen sooner? Is that going to happen later? Is it going to happen at all? Or does Pirates ownership actually have somewhat of a soul, and are they going to keep the hometown boy home?
Trevor, you and I have had conversations about this when he signed. And then they proceeded to sign Santana and Choi and Hill, and Bednar was a trade candidate last year, and they kept him. I said all those guys, I think I'd just trade them if they're not in the race.
Right.
And, I mean, here's the thing. Have they proven that they give a crap ever? No. So if you're going to be consistent, then you might as well just stay consistent on what you're doing. I hope like crazy that they keep all those guys. But, like, at the end of the day, G-Man Choi, Carlos Santana, Rich Hill, and Andrew McCutchen probably aren't going to be there when the Pirates make the playoffs next. I just don't see that for them. I just really don't. And I wish I was wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't see it. I really think that if you can trade all those guys, maybe you just do it, because this team cannot compete. And they were an anomaly when they were 20-8. I don't understand how they did it. It was the light shines on the dog's ass. I have no idea how they possibly did it. They have no pitching. Their pitching is terrible. God love Mitch Keller. The dude's pitching butt off. But other than that, goodness gracious, JT Brubaker is about the most unlucky pitcher I ever seen in my life. He's hurt again. That just sucks. And then everybody else just No, they're just not getting it done. And their setup guy and their closer, they're really, Bednar is fantastic, but like their long relief is horrible. It's amongst the worst in the league. And, I don't know what you do. I hope they don't trade Kutch, but like, I really believe like it could be Andrew McCutcheon and Rich Hill for a pack of Davids and a freaking container of double bubble at this point.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be in a cash considerations or a player to be named later or something of the sort. And it'll be like, oh, this great old prospect, and then we'll get him for a year.
This great old prospect, the last great old prospect we got was Austin Hedges. He's batting 158.
Yeah, and he continues to play because they put Henry Davis in the outfield. Why? Our outfield's the best part of the team. Our catcher is the second worst part of the team. Maybe the first. Because
Nate, this is exactly what they want. They want us talking about them, and we're talking about them. We're giving them the time of day. We should stop giving them the time of day.
All right,
but no.
I'm going to pull the mic up. I'm going to pull the mic up for this. This is if they fucking do that. Okay, not a big baseball guy. You guys know that. I play the show. I try to get into it. I just fucking can't. I can't sit there for 9 innings and watch a goddamn game. If I went to the game, I could. But if you fucking take Andrew McCutcheon out of Pittsburgh after you gave us a little taste, all right, and everybody's fucking excited, and it's like, one of your loved ones or your friend, gets you this gift, okay, and they're like, oh, here's a nice gift. You can play with it, but I'm going to take it with me. You don't get to keep it. If they fucking do that, I want everybody to go down to Permani Brothers and get the fucking grease from the pits. And I want them to fucking carry it over to PNC Park, and I want them to dump it on the fucking field. Because I'm going to tell you right now that if they fucking do that,
genius,
it would be. I'm going to be honest with you. It would be like shipping out fucking. He's the modern day Willie Stargell, Clemente. No, God bless his soul. He's not even close to Clemente's greatness. No. But I got to say, the love they have for him. That's like shipping Ben out. All those years they were talking shit. Ben needs to get the fuck out of here. Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? This guy rejuvenized. Jason Bay, I think, was the only. I mean, I'm not really in the fucking knowledge of it, but Jason Bay was a big guy. You know what I mean? I think when they shipped him out, they were like, "What the fuck?" I don't know if he was good or not.
It was one of the several. One of the several, Drew.
You can't keep doing it. You were the ugly stepchild of the fucking city, and you go ahead and rejuvenize the city. You bring a guy back. Ben brings him on footballing with Ben Roethlisberger. He's jacked up to be back. And then you go ahead halfway through the fucking summer here and you say you're going to ship them off. Fuck you. I literally want to grab that owner and say, what the fuck is wrong with you?
In fairness to the Pirates, Drew, and I don't mean to cut you off here, but in fairness to the Pirates, I believe it's the Rangers who are pulling the strings here. I don't think it's the Pirates.
Okay.
The Rangers, they need I don't know. They need another bat. They need another arm. They need some guys to get them over the top and make them full-on contenders in the AL. So they're the ones that are like initiating things here rather than the Pirates saying, hey, garage sale.
No. All right. They're not shopping them. Okay.
Right. No, they're not shopping them. I don't think they would. I don't think they would do that. I mean, that would make it much worse if they were, but if they're even going to consider this, and maybe this is just something that's going to blow over in 2 days and we're going to be fine.
I mean, it's like
I just know that the Rangers, they're gonna keep jumping down teams' throats, and who's the easiest throat to jump down? Pirates, because we ship everybody out.
Right. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, it's like they gave him that plaque, the 2000 hit plaque. The fucking order comes out. It's a beautiful thing. It's like a fucking company giving you an employee of the month. In that same month, they fucking fire you. It makes no fucking sense. Like.
That's the business part of it, man. It's never fair, and it's these small market teams have terrible decisions all the time.
Yeah,
and it. I can only imagine the poor Pittsburgh Pirates public relations and marketing team that have to deal with this mess if they ship them out. They didn't ask for that. They want Touch there. He's literally the most marketable Pittsburgh athlete at the moment. Like not Kenny, not Deontay.
No,
not even Sidney Crosby and Malkin. No. It's Kutch right now because the hype of getting him back is so much greater than the guys that have been sitting around. And Pickett's been there, and I understand. Pickett's a beloved child. He's the stepson right now. He's a beloved son of Pittsburgh with all this crap.
Right.
Malkin and Crosby are legends. They're still incredibly marketable. Deontay's a stud receiver, all this stuff.
Right.
But it's Kutch right now.
Yeah.
It's Kutch. And he's number one, and it's really not close at the moment. You got to capitalize on what's hot. And if you get rid of him, these poor people, they're going to have to do calls and emails and media messages. They're going to just up and quit because that's the industry I work in. I don't work in sports social media, but I work in social media. It's part of what I do.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'd be gone on the day. I'd be like, that's it. I'll go with him. I'm going to go to Texas with him because I can't deal with this either.
Yeah.
This is terrible. That was my decision. You think we want to deal with this mess? We want to tweet that the team wins. You know what I mean? We don't want to freaking be like, we're trading Andrew McCutchen to the Texas Rangers for a freaking batting weight, a pair of batting gloves, a catcher's mitt, and David sunflower seeds because that's what they're going to get.
Hey, don't forget the rosin bag.
Yeah, a rosin bag and a freaking big league chew bag to be named later. I mean, it's freaking ridiculous.
And some razors for Shelton's beard.
I'm going to tell you, I think PNC Park's going to be very empty if they do that.
If they do that, yeah.
If they do that,
anyways, they stink.
Nacho prices,
so they are.
nacho sales are going to go down. They got that special fucking Permani's fries or something going on over there too. That's fucked. Everything's going to be fucked. Everybody's just going to be pissed. I'm serious. Like, I mean, even back, I think of back in 2009. I think, and I go back to this every time. And my dad talks about all the others, Pittsburgh fans I'm around. Sidney Crosby was the fucking guy.
Mm-hmm.
You had Ben and you had McCutchen. Those three were, if they were anywhere, people were flocking. They were the fucking shit. They were known in Pittsburgh. They were the fucking model athletes of Pittsburgh. It's sports. To bring him, if that happens, Trevor, I'm gonna have a fucking aneurysm. That's fucking stupid. It better not happen. It better not happen, because if it happens within the week and you don't get to see him play on Wednesday next week, you better pray to fucking God there's going to be a lot of rains. I swear to God.
I'm telling my folks, I'm selling my ticket. I'm selling my ticket. If I don't care if it's a day of, it gets reported that whatever. I'll eat the $40 that I paid for I'm not going to support that.
No.
Yep.
I'm not going to support that.
No.
And like I said before, I've said many, many times already, with all the crap that this organization has pulled, I'm going to boycott them. I'm never going to another game again. But here we are, still talking about them, still paying attention to them, still giving them the time of day. And like I said, I'm going back to a game.
What do they have to do to get the owner out of there? Because you guys are more familiar with MLB.
We've tried. We've tried many times.
Can't do anything.
Like the board, is there a board? Like there's not.
You gotta. I hate to say this, but you gotta hope and pray for a Dan Snyder-esque scandal to come out.
Yep. Which it won't, because he doesn't even go and hang out there.
He doesn't even go and hang out anywhere.
No.
He's an introverted Poindexter fuck that just happens to run an organization.
He's a business guy. He's not an owner guy. He's so worried about the almighty dollar, and I'm sorry, in professional sports, that just doesn't fly. In America, it just doesn't fly. You just can't do this, man. It's sad. I'm hopeful that, with this oil transfer to electric vehicles, that maybe one of these guys from the Middle East buys the Pirates, and just maybe they'll spend the money and get us good again. Because
Nate, do you want me to get the Saudis on the phone?
Somebody of that sort would give us a better chance to win. That, or a Steve Cohen guy, or what's his face for the Clippers, Ballmer, or any of them. Right. Someone that's going to stink and stink, And the saddest part is, like, our owner's like not the, he's got like top few net worth in MLB of all the owners, and he spends like the bottom of the barrel in terms of it, which is so backwards. And it makes me so mad. If he never sells, he wants to give to his kids. He's been rumored saying that. And I think he said that in multiple reports.
That's great.
I'd really like to know, like, could you just bring in another investor to beef this up? Like, I understand, like, you're still making a crap ton of money. It's still as stable as income as you could possibly have, because this CBA, unlike in European soccer, those teams don't go anywhere. There's no delegation. They're stable as crap. You're still going to get your millions or billions. So do you really you're that big of a penny pusher, even though you're a multi-billionaire, to just let another investor come in? That's the part that really ticks me off about it too.
If he watches this episode, he probably won't. I'm just going to make this clear. That's good. You want to do like this inheritance thing, and you want to make it like a Rooney thing, but the Rooneys actually have fucking done something with their goddamn franchise. I don't see why the Rooneys wouldn't buy them out. Why the fuck not? Get one of the nephews or nieces in there. Just fucking throw them over. You got the money. Buy the fucking Pirates. Like,
I always wonder why none of them buy it. Cuban or one of those Rooneys or anybody of the sort. There's got to be something wrong with what's happening there, that they look at it and go, this is so big of a disaster that we don't even want to deal with it, because they have the money and Cuban's a Pirate fan.
Yep.
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
People beg him every day. He gets tweeted at like every day, will you please buy the Pirates? And he's like, I don't want them. Mm-hmm. And like I said, these teams are so stable. The dude could literally, he's already a billionaire. He's a billionaire because of the Mavericks. He's a billionaire because of his other ventures. Mm-hmm. Yep. He could be a billionaire because of Pittsburgh Pirates too. And he doesn't want it. So there's something else that's involved with this.
Right.
That somebody that most people don't want, because I feel like if he got approached for some amount of money, he would sell it. But like, mm-hmm. I don't know. There's something else there. There's got to be, because that's just craziness.
I swear, Nate, you could throw the Flex Seal guy Phil Swift on Shark Tank to pitch the Pirates to Mark Cuban. He still wouldn't go for it.
No, he don't want him. He's made it perfectly clear. It's terrible, and it sucks, because that's someone who I'd want, because the dude's gonna spend, whether he makes crazy decisions or not. He's gonna try.
Right. Yeah.
I'll deal with that.
He would have never, and I'm going to just throw this out here. Dirk Nowitzki, okay? You see how I'm trying to even think of the fucking word. Not notable. He just gives a shit about his players. Like he just
loyal.
Loyal. Yeah. He's loyal to the players. He would have never had Kutch. I don't know what season Kutch left. Kutch would have never left the fucking city of Pittsburgh.
No.
If Cuban owned it.
No.
That would have been locked down. What do you want to hear? What do you want? You fucking have it. I think, Nate, and I don't want to stay on this too long, Trevor, because I know you got some other shit you want to talk about. But I just got. Do you think it's the asking price? I think it's the asking price that this jackass dumb fuck.
Maybe.
I
don't give a shit at this point. It's a mockery. It's a mockery.
Well,
the asking price didn't stop the Commanders, the new Commanders owners. So
well, there's this fact to it. Washington, D.C. is growing exponentially. People are flocking there out the wazoo.
That is true. If you
look at Pittsburgh and Western Pennsylvania as a whole, right, we're not growing.
Right.
And I think that's a red flag for these people.
Right.
I hope to God, like, we keep sports there for forever.
Oh, I hope.
But the Pirates and Penguins both have been rumored to possibly leave this city over the last 30 years. Thank God they both stayed, but that might be. Could you, Mark Cuban, if he buys that, he won't move it because he couldn't. So maybe that's what it is. Because maybe business decisions, like the first thing we do is move it.
Right.
He don't want to do that because he'll never hear the end of it, and in his heart he can't do it. I don't want to speak for him. I have no idea, but I
think as a PA native too, Nate, he ain't gonna do that.
No,
you know what I mean. He ain't gonna do
that. Says, why wouldn't you?
Right. No, it just drives me nuts. I mean, my buddy was down there on Wednesday. He said the most beautiful ballpark I've ever been in. Like the view,
it is.
You get but he goes, you go and watch them. It's like, holy fuck, dude. Like, you know, I mean, it's like fucking curtains on an outhouse. I mean, it's. I mean, what the fuck? It's just
we got some tremendous one-liners here. Curtains on an outhouse. The light shines on the dog's ass. This is great, but. Literally, like,
go ahead, Trevor. Sorry, I took over your whole fucking thing right there. That just pissed me off so bad.
You alluded to it before, Drew. Like, you go there more for the tasty nachos, and you go to watch a ball game.
Right. Right. Yeah. It's just in the view. I mean, you can't-
Right. Yeah. As long as,
Yeah.
if you get left field box seats, you get the skyline. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. The thing is, though, those are more pricey. So
I mean, fucking Clemente rolling in. I mean, Jesus. Just think about that. Like these guys, Stargell, Clemente, the old time Pirates, Wagner, looking how the team turned out after all those years. They have to be fucking looking down here saying, this is fucking disgusting. What the fuck? It's like the steel curtain Steelers if they turned to shit. I mean, the 90s, it was pretty rough. Late 80s, early 90s.
yeah.
But I mean, this has been fuck since way back when. They've just never figured it the fuck out. I don't know. But Trevor, you gotta get me off this fucking topic. You got anything else?
Yeah, no. I got you. I get you onto something a little bit more
I'm
positive
sweating.
here.
That's how pissed off I am. I'm sweating like fucking.
The Jack and Cokes don't help that, Drew.
No. Yeah, no, I agree. I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess with Shohei Ohtani now, he's probably going to stick with the Angels for the year, and he's going to become a free agent this offseason. Where do you guys think he's going to go? Obviously, the lead landing spots, Dodgers, Mets, Yankees, the usual suspects to acquire free agents, but anywhere you guys think he's going to end up?
How about we ship Kutch for that fucking guy? Could we do that? Like,
No, we're going to have to ship PNC Park to LA to get Shohei Ohtani.
You still might not get him.
Do you see him in the Yankees? Do you see him in a I don't know, Nate.
That's my pick, Drew.
I mean,
Yankees.
And that's going to fuck off a lot of people.
Well, here's why I think that he'll go there. New York's friendly to folks of Asian heritage. That's first of all.
Right.
LA is too, but New York is.
Right.
That's one thing. So culturally, this man has to fit in. Yeah. And I understand that. I hope he does. I want this guy to come over here and feel like he fits in. Right. You're sacrificing your whole life for this, So that's important. So that's one.
Yep.
Two, the Yankees can't hit anything. They stink on offense. They're terrible.
Yes,
and Judge is out of the lineup. They're even worse. This guy has carried their offense for the last season and a half, and it would be 2 seasons if he was in there.
Right.
They cannot hit. Josh Donaldson cannot hit. Aaron Hicks couldn't freaking hit. Joey Gallo couldn't freaking hit.
Is Rizzo still on that team?
What's that?
Is Rizzo still on that team?
Yeah, Rizzo. Well, he's going to strike out 1,000,000 times. He's going to hit 220, and he's going to hit 30 bombs.
Yep.
That's what's going to happen. I mean, it's just the truth. Gary Sanchez couldn't freaking hit. Gone. Gleyber Torres, he can't stink and hit as well as he was a few years ago. I mean, holy crap. How many freaking guys do you need? Giancarlo Stanton, he can't hit as well as he did in Miami. He's always freaking hurt. Mm-hmm. So what happens? Get someone in there who can stinking hit.
Right.
Shohei Ohtani can hit the ball. Yeah. And he plays. Other than the Tommy John surgery, he plays. He's always available. He plays every freaking game. He's always pitching too. They could use another pitcher. There's another great starter they can plug right in there. Can be their second through fourth starter or whatever. And here's the other part that I think maybe – I don't know if you guys consider this. Brian Cashman is on the hot seat. His seat is so freaking warm. Mm-hmm. He's got to pull something off. Oh. I know he's been there for forever, but he's got to get somebody in there because he hasn't hardly done anything that's worked out. They haven't won a World Series since 2009. It's one of the longest stretches of their franchise's history. Mm-hmm. They get to the postseason. They can't win unless they play the Twins or the A's. They own them. Right. But they can't beat the Astros. They've run into the Astros a bunch. So Brian Cashman might throw the man $600 million. $600 million. It's not off the table. I really believe that.
Yeah,
that's how he is.
He could easily be the richest contract in sports history.
Right.
I believe that. And to your point, Nate, guys like Mr. Cortez for the Yankees pitching, he hasn't worked out. Luis Severino, he's decent, but he's also a free agent this offseason. I think it would make sense for them. I would hate to see the guy in pinstripes. I hate to see any good player in pinstripes, but especially that guy. So you guys think the Yankee? I'm going to say Dodgers. I'm going to say the Dodgers. I'm going to say I know they're the betting favorite, I'm going to say he's going to stay near where he is now. He's obviously going to get a little more cheddar, and he's going to play a more pivotal role in that Dodgers team.
Right.
Plus,
That's a good. It's a good pick too.
The Dodgers have a shit ton of guys on 1-year contracts, right?
Yep.
And most notably, so Julio Urias. I hope I pronounced that last name right. One of their aces on their starting rotation. He's a phenomenal pitcher. I don't have his stats up right now, but I looked them up earlier. They were pretty freaking good.
Yeah.
He's a free agent, and not to mention the countless free agents they signed pretty much every single season on these 1-year deals, like I just said before. Yep. I think they could sign that guy to a long-term deal and get another cornerstone of that franchise. I think that's what's going to happen. He's going to be to the Dodgers what Judge is to the Yankees. Hopefully without the injury history.
That would be like fucking Kobe, God bless his soul. That would be like Kobe going to fucking the Clippers, though. I mean, that's a fuck you. You know what I mean? Like him going from the Angels to the Dodgers. I mean, holy fuck.
If I'm being honest, Drew, it's like Kobe going to the Lakers from the Clippers.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, that's just, yeah. But if he, that would really fuck off a lot of Mets fans.
I will say this though. I mean, the Angels have spent on offense in the past. Albert Pujols, Josh Hamilton.
Oh yeah.
Anthony freaking Rendon, who doesn't play a god blessed game ever.
Yeah.
That's the part that's killing him.
He was good in that 19 postseason, and that was it.
God. If they don't have Anthony Rendon, that's maybe another reason that Shohei would stay, because they'd have more money to give the stinking guy. Holy Pete.
Right.
Anthony Rendon he pisses me off. That might be the worst contract in professional sports history. His contract is freaking terrible.
It's up there. I can think of a couple, but that one's up there.
It's always the Angels, dude. It's Pujols.
It is
150, and then it's
Josh
Hamilton, and not in a Rangers uniform. When he's not in a Rangers uniform, he stinks.
He's the Nick Foles of MLB. Yeah,
it's the weirdest thing ever.
Yep.
And then Rendon. Oh.
Yeah, Rendon is easily the worst contract in Major League Baseball right now. There's no debating that at this point.
That maybe Chris Davis for the Orioles. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's up there too. But at least the Orioles are doing something.
Yeah, with him on the contract.
Right. Imagine if they didn't have him under contract, their payroll their payroll would be higher because of all these other guys that they could afford.
Right.
But they're still good as it is. They just happen to be in the wrong division.
Oh, that division's just brutal.
Literally, the lowest team in that division, I think, is the Red Sox right now. They'd be first in both the Central divisions, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
And that disparity has pretty much continued from, I'd say, early May until now.
Oh, yeah.
If not earlier than that.
Yeah. Holy fuck. Well, damn. Anything else, Trevor?
I'm good, buddy. I got it all out.
What's your feel good? There is no. You got to.
No, that's all I got, buddy. That's all I got.
Nothing. I don't know if my heart could take him having something else, because the last two things that he's had has made my blood pressure go through the roof exponentially. I don't think I could take it.
Say this is one of the longest stretches we've been talking about MLB on this program. So
yeah,
I'm going to tell you.
I mean, for good reason, absolutely. But yeah, it's definitely, you're sweating, Drew. I'm sweating too in this freaking.
I'm sweating.
Thick sweatshirt.
I think there's going to be a fucking riot in Pittsburgh if McCutchen leaves. I'm serious. I would be very fucking concerned if I was front office. Nate, you fucking said what the hell? Public relations. I mean, this is. I'm telling you, they do that shit. I'm telling. And if you're not familiar with Pittsburgh fans, people out there, Yinzers take that shit very fucking serious. Now, you cannot play with their hearts too much. Because if you give them a taste and then you take it back away, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. I don't think I've ever seen that in any Pittsburgh. I don't think they've ever done that. Any team. I mean, except back with them, what they did with McCutchen, but to bring a guy back and then halfway through the season, send him off again. I mean, holy fuck. I think they know better.
That'd be dicey. Yeah. I would hope they do. And I hope this is nothing. I hope we got upset for nothing. I really do.
Well, people enjoy
but,
it.
Right. No, I imagine that they did. But like you just said, Drew, you tinker with people's hearts. You tinker with Yinzer's hearts. We're going to get a little fired up.
They're going to smash Icy Light fucking bottles off the. There's going to be a fucking mess. It's going to be more of a mess than Kenny Chesney playing at fucking Heinz Field back in the day. That's how fucking bad it's going to be.
Yeah.
But if there's nothing else, guys, is there anything else? Or
I got one or two things.
Go ahead, Nate. Yeah, whatever you can do.
Yeah.
Trevor alluded to it earlier. These central divisions in MLB are so bad that the Reds went from 4th to 1st place because they had a 12-game winning streak. And that's understandable. It's still
12 games. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they won 12 games in a row. They brought up Ellie De La Cruz, and this kid is unfreaking believable. I mean, he is electric. Yep. He is so damn fast. He can hit the ball, and I this exit velocity crap, it's cool, but I don't get overhyped with it. But the way how hard he's hitting the ball is unbelievable. Right. And he's like 20-something, like super young. He's raw. The Reds weren't even supposed to be good.
Right.
They get Ellie De La Cruz, and they get Joey Votto back, and Joey Votto hits 3 home runs in the first week at like 37 or 38 years old.
Right.
Unreal. Unreal. And that just pisses me off because they're supposed to stink. It was supposed to be us and them at the bottom. And the Cubs were supposed to be 2nd or 3rd because they spent a boatload of money.
Right.
And Milwaukee was going to be amongst the best. Somehow. I don't understand why they're good too. None of the teams are actually really good, but it's crazy how 2 players coming back for the Reds and one guy getting promoted and Votto getting plugged in there with a bunch of these young guys, how much of a tear they're on. It's crazy. So what a move that was to pull him up. And the Pirates pull up Henry Davis, and I feel like Henry Davis is one of the only players that wants to play in Pittsburgh right now. I mean, he's clapping his hands and he's ecstatic to get a single, to get walked, to get a double. I mean, anything he can do, he's like pumped about it. Like,
yeah.
And we pull him up, and I understand he's played the outfield in the minors a little bit, but we're really going to stick him in the outfield and not a catcher. The stacked outfield that we have. Really?
John Jaso 2.0, Nate.
Yeah, John Jaso and Gabby Sanchez. Like, come on, man. Drives nuts.
I just saw the Gabby Sanchez play where Billy Hamilton juked him the other day. That's great. Gets me every time.
Come on. I mean, goodness gracious.
But anyway, you were saying this De La Cruz guy, he's hitting 333. He's got 3 home runs, 10 RBIs already, 17 games.
Yeah. Hit for the cycle. His first week up. Hit for the stinking cycle.
Jesus.
Hit for the cycle, yeah. Yep. These young guys, man, they're coming up and they're playing. You got Corbin Carroll with Arizona leading that team. The young Marlins, they're right in the thick of the NL East. Right. Because the Mets can't freaking get it right. Drives me nuts.
Oh, that one guy on Barstool, Nate. I don't mean to interrupt you.
Frank the Tank.
Oh my God. He was fucking livid.
He's livid every night.
Yeah.
He wants Buck Showalter gone, and he should be gone.
What the fuck's what?
He's like 85. Get out of there. You and Tony La Russa, get out.
So what are they doing?
Tony La Russa. Is Tony La Russa still coaching?
Thank God, no.
Is he still?
Thank God, no.
No. Okay.
He fired him or he stepped away last year. Get out of there. He's 27. You were 77. Get out of there.
For the non-baseball watchers.
Get out.
Nate, for the non-baseball watchers, explain what's going on in the Mets organization right now for us.
I don't even know, dude. They spent like $350 million, and they stink because they paid 2 pitchers $185 million of it, and they don't even pitch. They're 37 years old each, and they're over the hill.
Yep.
And they don't pitch. They stink when they do pitch. They have no freaking timely hitting. They have no bullpen.
No.
They just.
I'll say this too. The best thing that the Mets have going right now is this TikToker that keeps making fun of Daniel Vogelbach, calls him Danny Burgers.
Yeah, and then you got him
It's
too.
great.
He stinks.
Ah.
He's a stinking hit.
Yeah.
And they
Looks
keep
like he has Shake
playing him.
Shack before every game.
Buck Showalter keeps playing him.
Oh boy.
And he's batting
Yep.
like 200
Yep.
because they're so desperate. Their
Mhm.
team is so lean on money, they can't afford to go get anybody else. They screwed up big time. These two pitchers are Scherzer and Verlander they're screwing them.
Mm.
And do I blame those two? No, because I'd take that money in a second too. I
Right.
don't care where I'm pitching.
Right.
Give a crap.
Right.
Yep.
How bad do you think that sets them back? Does it set them back a while or
No, because their owner has an unlimited bank account.
Okay.
He is he's got like exponential billions more than the next like net worth owner in MLB to him. Like he has so much more money than the next closest guy. It's like absurd. It's billions separating. Billions. Not billions, billions.
Mm.
You can't even comprehend how much money that is. It's like Ballmer too. Ballmer in the NBA is the same way.
Right.
But they have a salary cap and the salary restrictions. MLB, you can just say,
Right.
just freaking spend. I don't give a crap.
Oh boy.
And that's what he keeps doing. He wants
You know
to-
why he has unlimited money? He's a hedge fund guy. He's a hedge fund guy. Net worth $13 billion
Holy fuck.
with a B. With a B.
Yep.
13 billion.
Yep.
That's 9 more than fucking Mark. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Let's just put that in perspective for the people out there. $9 billion more dollars than Cuban.
You can't even comprehend. The human mind can't comprehend how much money that is. Trevor can tell you that. He's a finance guy. He can tell you. You can't comprehend how much that is.
His hedge fund firm, it's called Point 72 Asset Management. This according to a Bloomberg article in January of this year. That firm had over $27 billion in assets, $9.5 billion of which belongs to their owner, to Cohen, Steve Cohen.
Fuck.
He's a wealthy man.
He's shitting on a golden toilet.
He'll get it right eventually. He will.
Maybe.
But here's the thing. Am I pissed about what Cohen's doing? Kinda, because he screwed up. But
Right.
no, because at least he's doing something.
Right.
Ever.
And it's not his fault that literally all the players that he got went to shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Not somebody mismanaged that. The GM is probably going to be gone. It's not all Cohen. Cohen just says, "Here's the money.
Right.
He writes the checks. Yeah.
Here's the player." And it's like, okay, I got to trust you because you're supposed to know what you're freaking doing.
Right.
And I hope you know what you're doing because you're in New York, the mecca of one of the meccas of professional sports in the whole world, not just the United States, the world.
Right. Right.
So it's craziness, man.
It's a fucking shame. But anything else, folks? Anything else for the people out there?
No, I better stop because this episode got me freaking fired up, man. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna be tossing and turning tonight. I'm not gonna be able to sleep.
I'm fucking still sweating. I'm still sweating right now. It's just, but it was such an honor to come back here with you guys after 13 days, and we'll be back. Again next week. Get back on the train here. Nate's going on a trip, so we might have someone in there for him. But following week we'll hopefully have Nate back. Trevor, we'll see what's going on. But it was an honor and privilege, fellas. It's always a goddamn. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to check my blood pressure after we're done talking here. If Kutch leaves Pittsburgh, you better expect a fucking hell of an episode next week, folks. Okay, that's all I have to fucking say to you. But anyways, it was another episode of Buckle Up with the Boys here with your host Drew Billy, co-host Nate Stice, and co-host Trevor Dinsmore. It was a goddamn pleasure to always stay safe out there. God bless and have a good day. Have a good night, and all gas, no breaks. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, boys.
Likewise, man.
All right, let's figure it out here. All right.